I'm always pretty careful to not be surprised by any of the outcomes. And really, I'm not interested in retrying it or trying it in public. Um, Agree or disagree at this point in time. Um, to to try to retry it, here in public is useless. And I have no interest in that. It has no bearing or no positive effect on the outcome of this series for our team. Usually I get to this point and I have a lot of times have more questions than answers as you go through this process. Probably the one concern that I do have is how we got it so wrong last night on the video replay. It's a suspendable action, obviously. Yet through the video replay, their guy played 27 minutes last night. Our leading goal scorer played 3.5 minutes last night. So that's a question that I'd like to get to eventually. But the things that do matter on it, from the feel that I get from our players, they're not going to be concerned about the suspension, yes or no, or the length of it. They have a concern for their teammate who's gone through a pretty tough night and going through some tough time today, and as he comes through this, and their focus is on game 5 tomorrow night. So that simplifies it. It really simplifies it a lot.
Is McCann on the trip? Is there any update?
He's not on the trip. And I was clear on that last night. He would not be available. I'm not, stuff. I don't do that. No, he's not going to be available for Game 5. He didn't travel with us. And if there's any questions being asked, people maybe should have a concern over a young man that's going through some that's the obvious with PK and the different roles that he plays at different times during the game. But different injuries do happen. We've been without Berkey since early February. That's been that hasn't drawn a lot of spotlight, but our guys have found a way to fill that role. And we'll do the same with Jared's role. Just as the guys did last night. Some guys did a good job, really mixing and matching, right? Having to jump into some different spots. Morgan Geeky last night played center. He played wing. We had a few other guys that played right wing, left wing, and did it with several different lines. So that's the nature of our group, and I thought they handled it really well.
No, but I'm not.
I'm just saying.
You go first.
Beniers filled in the PK for the most part when McCann left.
Yeah, he's been killing. We got a couple other guys that are able to to jump into that role, and Canner was one of the top 4 guys, obviously. So it changes the look of it a little bit. It changes some of the minutes that guys are playing, and that's just something that we'll have to adjust to.
Maybe 10 years ago, something like that would happen and would have instigated more and more stuff. But it seems like in today's NHL, teams kind of take care of the business on the scoreboard more than their fists kind of thing. Do you like this version better?
It's Game 4 of the playoffs. That's all I have to say. Game 4 of the playoffs. So, the league's changed a little bit. I don't know if it's changed that much, but it's Game 4 of the playoffs. At the end of the night, win or loss in that game is most important.
I want to ask you if this is you have to take advantage of them not having the car, right? But I looked it up. They were 17-3-2 regular season without him. So it's not like they can't play.
I don't know. Are they looking at trying to take advantage of us without McCann?
Well, sure.
I guess I'd flip that. I mean, I don't really look at it that way. I mean, you know, you got that game will be decided on the ice tomorrow night by the guys that are available, and that's the bottom line. And that's why, you know, the other stuff I'm really not interested in getting into or trying to posture on, right? You know, Canada's really important to us. You know, Makar obviously is very important to them, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like I answered the previous question, right? Game 5 tomorrow night, so that's where I said, you know, our guys have had a real good perspective, you know, all year long. Like, we've dealt with different things throughout the year, just as everybody has, but you know, our guys have had good perspective, and we'll have challenge. Don't know the opportunity at hand, and you know, we'll be prepared to go out and play well and get you know, get after that.
You guys have been firing on all cylinders right at the puck drop. What do you attribute to the fast starts?
I don't know. That's really been fast starts. You know, we've been ready to play. You know, you know, at puck drop, we've done the things that we do. I don't think it hasn't been out of character for us. You know, we've got a group that's done a job at hand, and we know, you know, we're not gonna you know, play 30 minutes or 40 minutes and put ourselves in a good spot. You know, we've got an idea of how we have to you know, play during a hockey game, you know, in a formula that we want to play with to give ourselves the best chance to win, and part of that is being ready. Yes.
Good.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so
Dave.
much.
Just so you